Hey everybody, Ryouseiken here with a two-part channel update for y'all. This is essentially going to cover, well, the rest of the year as well as some hinting to plans that I have for next year, 2011. So let's get right to it because obviously I have a limited amount of time and I don't want to bore you guys with unnecessary information. So the first thing I want to go over you guys with is my current console game playthroughs, which is Fallout New Vegas and Borderlands. Now, as you guys know, I just recently got Fallout New Vegas yesterday. I went to my local GameStop and, well, it was simple enough. I mean, thankfully they had plenty of copies, even though I pre-reserved it late. But Fallout New Vegas is going to premiere, per se, today, later this morning. Right now it's 12:30 in the morning for me, so maybe in like, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours maybe, it depends. And that will continue on through the rest of this week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then next week, I don't know, I'm considering doing all Fallout New Vegas videos on that week as well, or I might switch back to Borderlands. Basically, what I plan to do at some point is to alternate week by week, uploading Fallout New Vegas footage on one week and Borderlands footage on the other week. So essentially, for people who have been waiting for my Fallout New Vegas playthrough, you're going to get videos 5 days a week, around 8 to 12 videos per day maybe, it depends. 8 to 12 videos equates to about 2 to 3 hours of gaming, which is what I usually spend per day. So hopefully you guys understand that I have two playthroughs to focus on, not just one, and hopefully you can bear with the amount of videos I put up per week to carry you over past the next week, unless you're into both games, which is a plus for me, definitely. Now, my plan is to finish Fallout New Vegas and Borderlands by the end of November. But if that ends up not being the case, I might either have to carry over a bit into December, or I might have to hold them off until the beginning of January, which I don't want to do, but it depends entirely on how fast I progress through the game, how sidetracked I get by side optional missions. You know, Fallout is known for being very extensive, having a lot of side missions, a very open-ended environment. So it'll be interesting to see how far I can get, how many missions I can do before I actually have to kick it into high gear and beat the game. But yeah, Fallout New Vegas and Borderlands, my two main console games for the year. Probably the only real console game playthroughs that I do for the remainder of 2010. However, there might be exceptions. One of them definitely being Call of Duty Black Ops for the PC. As I heard, it comes with a feature where I can record the matches that I play in Call of Duty Black Ops. I forgot what it was called. Was it Combat Theater or something? I'm not sure, but if it ends up being very, useful and it doesn't lag my game to hell, I'll definitely think about doing a lot of Call of Duty Black Ops footage during the remainder of this year, basically, and we'll see how it goes from there, see how popular it gets. Call of Duty Black Ops is definitely something I want to focus on because I've been playing Call of Duty pretty casually up to this point, but I definitely want to take a more competitive approach towards several games actually, but that's another story entirely. Some other exceptions which are not concrete as of yet. I think during the end of November, Epic Mickey comes out, and if that's the case, and I'm done with both Borderlands and Fallout New Vegas, I might consider trying to beat the game before a certain point in December. That is, if I have enough to get it, but if not, it can't be helped. I mean, I might do Epic Mickey in January 2011, who knows? I mean, I definitely want to play that game and do a playthrough of it eventually. So, it might not be concrete for this year, but it will definitely be concrete for next year. And the other game that I've been considering that might be an exception, might not be, is Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Now, I've beaten the first Assassin's Creed and I got a ways into Assassin's Creed 2, but I haven't beaten Assassin's Creed 2 yet, so I'm kind of nitpicky on playing games that I never played the prequels or the games that preceded first. Obviously, there was an exception with Dead Rising 2, but mostly because I heard there wasn't a huge transition between the two games. Like, you never hear from the characters in Dead Rising again in Dead Rising 2 except for, like, in discussions like Frank West. I mean, we haven't seen Frank West one time in the game until, like, the DLC that's coming out soon. And Isabella Keyes was only mentioned in discussion, so that's basically what I mean. So hopefully you guys understand and I'm not being too much of a babble mouth, but Assassin's Creed Brotherhood may or may not happen. It depends entirely on if I have the money and if I have the time. So if I end up not getting to it, sorry Overlord, who is a member of my Call of Duty clan. I'll try to get to it next year if I don't get to it this year. So there you go. Okay, so that covers basically my console games. Now on to the emulator games, which are my weekend playthroughs per se, which is games that I can really put time and effort into any day of the week because it doesn't require me to be out in the family room where they're always watching TV and everything. I can just sit here, do my playthroughs, do my commentary, and, you know, just upload them and see the reactions and see the positive responses. As you guys know, I have, I believe, 4 playthroughs that I'm doing on the weekends that involve an emulator or some sort of flash game. Is Final Fantasy V Advance, Breath of Fire 2, and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team, as well as my co-op project 3D Balls, which, that's all I have to really say. Really, the only thing I have to say in terms of those 3 games is that I'm definitely going to try to finish at least one of them, if not 2, by the end of November as well. Whatever I don't finish will carry over into the new year. Just like if I don't finish Borderlands or Fallout New Vegas. With Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team, I plan on finishing the main story and then putting it off till 2011, which I'll continue. Basically because mostly the stuff that comes after the main story is optional and it really doesn't, like, lend itself to the story per se. It doesn't really expand except like a small chunk at the end of all the optional stuff. So I'm going to carry it over to 2011. I'll finish the main story part of it this year. As for Final Fantasy V Advance and Breath of Fire 2, it entirely depends on if I can finish them in time and how long it takes me. So there you go. My co-op projects, 3D Balls, as I said, it depends entirely on when both me and Michael are in the mood to actually do co-op. It's still kind of a work in progress in the fact that Michael has to speak really loudly in order for his voice to be heard. I mean, sometimes his voice comes in rather soft in the videos, so that's something we have to work on. Also, not sure if it's still happening or not, but on Halloween, be sure to check Michael DJ54's channel. I'll have a link in the channel description below. Basically, me and him are planning to do a Halloween special on Halloween, obviously, on his channel. So, if that ends up happening, go check out that channel. Go check out that Let's Play. I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. And basically, that's all I have to say. Oh, and game reviews. If you guys look at my channel profile, there's a link called Those Two Guys Reviews.blogspot.com. That's basically the site that we use to do any reviews that we happen to do for games or movies. So I'm going to be doing an Alpha Protocol and a Dead Rising 2 game reviews very soon. So that's about it for this video. Next video will cover my plans for December, at least some of them, as well as something I'd like all my subscribers to do. And I might hint on some things I might be doing in the new year. So check back for part 2, and I will see you guys shortly. Happy gaming.